podcast. How are you?
I'm good, man. How about yourself?
I'm great. It's a pleasure to have you. I've literally been following your work, I think for literally over a year now, and I've been so impressed with everything that you've been doing. Tell me a little bit about your background. Like, every time I see you, it seems like you're in a million different places. Are there two of you? Let's start there.
Hey, I wish it was two of me. As I'm getting older, I'm like, boy, I wish I had somebody else to go this hard. But a little background about me. Most of my close friends know that I've always been a basketball player, so I'm real competitive for what I do. Graduated from Ben Davis, went to Lee University. It was a Christian college down in Cleveland, Tennessee. After Tennessee, I played basketball in Mexico and London for a couple of years. Then I decided that it was just too much for me and I wanted to come home. I did like a welcome home party with some other promoters. Like, I wasn't a promoter. The event wasn't as successful at all. I heard about it. I'm like, yeah, I know people will come out and rock with me, but I didn't expect that many people to come out and rock with me when I got home. And so the next week I hosted again and it ended up, I think I made about the same amount of money in that 1 week that I made in a month playing ball. So I was like, I kind of like this. And, it just led. And then I noticed I still lived in the neighborhood where Haughville, where I represent. And while I had the platform with the promoting, I just started highlighting the positive stuff in the community. And, it led to where we at now. So I just took my club platform and just everything that was positive in the community, I was just highlighting that the same way I would promote a club event.
So what year did you start? What year did you come back to Indianapolis?
I'd say roughly 13, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then with you traveling and doing all of this amazing stuff, playing basketball, even going to college in a different state, what inspired you to return back to your hometown,
It was, first, like, the family love. Like, everybody know me, my family is huge and how we all support each other. So not having that was one of the reasons. But what made me come back, like, so motivated and so ready to go was just, like, for example, when I was in Mexico, it was way worse than any hood in Indianapolis. Like, It goes down in the city. Like, don't get me wrong. We all know it goes down. But when you somewhere where people almost living outside, they eating flies flying their food, they still eating, and, and they still happy, though. Like, they was just happy. Like, when they got together, they celebrated. It would be the biggest events. They would be drinking. Everybody go home, wake up in the morning. You didn't hear nobody getting shot or killed, blah. So me looking at home, when I return to home, I'm realizing that Haughville ain't ugly like the image that we thought it out to be. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, I've seen ugly, and these motherfuckers was happy as hell. Sorry for cussing, but I was like, why can't we feel that? Why can't we feel that way? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, why can't? I know we living in a better situation. I know for sure because I see both. So why can't I bring that to my neighborhood? You know what I mean? Like, we happy, shoot. It ain't the best place, but it's better than a lot. And that's just been my brain thought through the whole thing. Like, it's not as bad as the image that's put out. It's like watching too much news almost. And I got to see that from watching it.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting kind of point to make. Is that I think that in America we have a lot of just misconceptions. Even in the Midwest, I think we're actually pretty spoiled when you go to larger cities and really see some of the dynamics that the people have to undertake just to live their day-to-day lives. And I think understanding that and coming from Indianapolis, one of the things I do love, I always say when I go to other cities and I come back home, I'm like, Indianapolis is so clean. And it's such a small thing to say, but it's like the streets are clean. It's a clean Midwest town, and I think that's something we can embrace, and that begins your appreciation and your love for where you come from.
Yeah,
100%. So explain to me what Ted Hardy is. Talk to me about the lifestyle brand. Talk to me about how you even came up with the name. What is Ted Hardy?
So it's I don't know if my mother planned it that way or it was just such a blessing that I get to with my names, I get to represent both sides of my family. Like, I don't have to, sometimes you only get to represent your last name and that's it. But see, the great part about it is my mother's father's name was Ted. So and my father's last name is Hardy. So Ted Hardy, I could always represent. So I never wanted a nickname. And so my name is Tedrick Hardy. People that know, like Ted Hardy is my real name, so I felt that's my nickname. You're gonna get this side and this. So I felt like if I did have to pick a business, I didn't want to forget about my mother's side of the family, and I wanted so everybody could feel it. So it just went together. Like that's me. That's the brand. That's the logo. That's the whatever y'all want to give it. That's me. I can't hide from it. So that's how that all came about. And then yeah, what else? I don't know. It's exciting getting to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. It's incredible. I'm like, so you started Ted Hardy kind of as it was a transitional moment in your life where I think this is really key for a lot of my listeners and a lot of people who you come in contact with on a daily basis. We all come into places where we get into a transition. We're leaving a job. We're having a family. We're doing all of these things that are changing in our lives. And we don't embrace what may be right in front of us. And I think you came to a point where you were like, I came home, I did this amazing experience of playing basketball.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm now in a place where, what am I going to do next? Talk to me a little bit about how you made that transition and what inspired you to really kind of go after this path that you really didn't know that much about.
Well, what made me just go ahead and put my name and stamp it like that was, like I said, I came back from hooping, working with people that was not too good to the game, you know what I mean? And I let them use me up almost, like my name, my brand. I was partnering with them, put their name on everything, but people know I would be the small thing. So it just became one day where I said, I'm going to be the front line. Because you got to think, when you say if I rented out the Bankers Life Fieldhouse, right? And you got Ted Hardy name on there, and somebody gets shots at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, just say that happened. I'm going to get the blame for it. Yeah. Bankers Life is going to make all the money. They're going to blame it all on the promoter. You know, I'm going to take all the heat. I got whatever. I'm going to lose it all for this people. And that happened to me one day, right? But my name was small on it. So I said, if I'm going to take this risk, everybody going to know it's me. Big risk, losses, whatever comes with it. But that's when it became like, this is a brand. Like, this is me. Like, this is what I believe in. Like, this Kroger's logo, if this water ain't good, Kroger still representing that. Like, this is me still, no matter what. Some people gonna buy, some people ain't. And that's what I started feeling. Like, I didn't need to be next to nobody. Like, being next to people was kind of hurting me at the time because my heart was in a different place. So I felt like I needed to be Kroger's, put my name on everything, and I could bring people up instead of getting used like me. So that's kind of where the big brand came from, that you always see me wear the No Days Off. Like, and with the Ted Hardy and No Days Off, I wanted people to know this was really me. Like, this ain't automated. You know what I mean? I don't hire a team. Like, I'm representing it. This is me. No Days Off. I'm putting in the work. So when people do get to work with me, I already know what to do, and they see that I'm serious. So, you know, when people see you serious, they work harder.
Yeah. Yeah, they do. Actually, when they see your face along with your brand or whatever it is that you do, people, you know, they can associate the two together. So explain to me No Days Off, because I see that. And sometimes I see that and I wake up in the morning and I'm like, this guy is talking about No Days Off again. Screw him. I want to take a day off. No, I'm joking. But No Days Off really is a mantra that I carry within myself. Just because there's always something when you have a baby, when you have a business, when you have anything, there's always something you can be doing. And when you love what you do, you know, there are really no days off. Talk to me about that.
It probably, I think I got PTSD or something. Like, I think that's how it came about, because it wasn't always no days off. You know, me representing where I'm from, I'm really from the neighborhood. So I've seen, I've heard, been in situations to where, and like I said, it all tied together with me getting to leave outside of the box. You know what I mean? Getting to enjoy other people's life, the lifestyle. So it was like, you know what I mean? Like, luckily I'm still here to live, but I was like, I want to take every day and make something out of it. So even just this last weekend when we was on vacation, I figured out a way to work, kind of got a gig, but I took my drone, my camera, and just explored Miami, you know what I mean? And it turned into something. And that's what I mean by no days off. Like, I just felt this opportunity. I was going to waste 8 hours down there anyway. So why not break this camera out, show people what I can do, let other people see it, and I get something out of it. So every day I try to, like, my rest time, like even when I play my Xbox, I got a whole nother channel just for my clips that, you know, kids like to look at me dunking on people. You know, just staying relevant, just trying to figure out ways to stay motivated, because, you know, I look around like, dang, people dropping every day. So for me, I take advantage of the time.
Let's dive into that, because I feel the exact same way. And one of the reasons I started Made in Indy, I think you know, is because I came back to my town after about 10 years and I really didn't recognize my city anymore. And I needed to find a way to connect. How have you connected to the community where you came from? And what have you seen coming from the work that you're doing? Because I'm always so impressed with the work, and I'm really not blowing smoke. I just find it so impressive, people who are able to connect to a community where they're from and uplift it. What have you seen come from that, and how have you been able to connect?
How I think how I've been able to connect is because I really got to sit back, because really when I had a lot of things going, when I was building Ted Hardy Collection at the beginning, I was still in the hood, right?
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people didn't know.
And Ted Hardy Collection, that's a clothing brand.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about your clothing brand. I love your clothing brand. I think it's great. So you were building your clothing brand.
Yeah, so I'm building this brand, but nobody would like. So I'm building a brand, but I wasn't really getting out much, like really explaining to my friends what I was doing. I just try to, and I'm gonna speed it up. I'll try to just build a brand, throw it out, because I had the clubs going, right? And it's kind of crazy how I tied into the community. So to speed it up, if anybody listening to this and want to sell clothes and wonder why your friends don't buy it, and it happened to me, and it humbled me in a real different way. I don't know how. I just can't explain it. I just took it and ran with it. But people will not buy your clothes if they can touch you, right? That's the saying. Like if you got a brand or something, most of your peers look down upon it. They might grab something else. They might say it's not the cheap apparel or whatever. So what I had to do is I had to get outside of my box like I usually do. I'm good at getting outside the box, as you can tell. But I had to get outside of my box and figure out that no matter what, I got to keep people connected in what I'm doing. You know what I mean? Like, no matter how big you get or how small you are, you notice the bigger celebrity always promoting to a market that people will never touch. So I noticed, like, not being funny, I'm gonna use these words, we got crackheads and stuff in the neighborhood that people do not, like, we look down upon. So what I would do is I put them in the clothes. They the ones that's helping me clean the park and stuff up, right? So now people are like, man, that's cool. And I just did reverse psychology. I swear all this stuff worked this way. I reversed it. I started cleaning the people up and having the people around me that people was afraid of and people was scared of. And to this day, and not me being tough, we out there shooting jumpers and we laughing, and that's our Lynn Park Project. So everything I'm doing kind of just spiraled out of me coming home. You know what I mean? It's like from me trying to just start a brand because I'm back home just trying to brand, get some money, to trying to uplift the community, from bringing the thugs to the crackheads to now if you go past Lynn Park, it's cleaned up. You wouldn't imagine what it was 4 years ago. So, man, I can ramble on about it. But, yeah, like I said, I just started backwards and I worked my way up here. So it just looked like I just touched the community with some money or an idea, but I just worked from the bottom. And then people see the idea and a light hit. You know what I mean? And that's all it's been.
Two things you said that were really, really interesting. You went to a market that not a lot of people were looking towards. That's really interesting because I think I've been reading a really great book called A New Earth, and it talks about the ego and how the ego associates with things. I'm rich, I'm poor, I'm black, I'm white, I'm short, I'm tall. And these ideas that your ego associate with actually limits you. And it sounds like what you've been able to do is really, and what all great people are able to do is transcend the idea that they have of themselves, transcend the idea that they have of their brand or who it can touch or who it's for. And when you're able to just kind of see that they're really, you say there's no days off. I say there's no barriers. We are really all connected.
Yes,
when you're able to see that everyone has their part in the greater whole, everyone is of service. Everyone is of service. I think that's brilliant. I think that's great. So you did that. Your clothing brand began to expand. It reached the market. And then talk to me about how you transitioned from that, because I think that maybe got you started into connecting to the community. And then you went into bigger projects. So talk to me about that transition of like taking these steps and these risks and just, following your heart. I don't want to sound very Disney, but following your heart.
Hey, I can tell you the honest truth. And I think it's probably because I work by myself and for myself. Like if I had a team, I probably couldn't give this answer. But everything that I do is just like I never planned it. Like even the rising tide of it. I don't know if we're gonna talk. I know we was gonna hit on that, but even that wasn't planned. That it was an idea. Somebody was shooting some footage down there in that area to talk about it. I just so happened to ride past. They said it was gonna be a stage here, 4 days, and I made it happen.
Talk to me about Rising Tide. I thought that was incredible. What is Rising Tide?
Rising Tide is an event that Indy Convergence started about, I think it was 2017 when they first started working on White River in that area. They did like a floating stage through the community. So we did, and they invited me. I partnered with them in 2017 also. So what it was they was trying to get information out to let people know that they're gonna be working on White River. Make sure you know about your property value. Don't get played out of the property because it will go up. You know, it was just a message that these people were trying to put out at the time. And we helped them. We got to sign up for the river. So long story short, we were supposed to run the concert series on White River this year for all the people that came out in 2017 that we were trying to update. So they would get the first looks, like our community would get the first looks at the river, get on there. But that didn't get to happen. So it got canceled because of COVID. You know, everything got shut down.
Yeah.
So what happened? Then we had the event like the 26th of September or whatever. So I got contacted on the 21st. Like I think PBS maybe wanted to do a show out there just to let people know it was like a Zoom show, like no audience, no nothing out there. But they had it set up for somebody to come out, and they contacted me. It was like, you know, sorry we didn't get to do the event, but we got the stage out here. You got 4 days. Can you put a show together? Can I do what? Give me 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Like, let me look through this phone real quick. And that's how that came about. I really didn't have no planning process. I didn't know how the stage was going to be set up. I didn't know how we was going to park. I just knew if I put my heart and soul into getting this out to the right people, that it was going to come about. And that's it.
Saying yes. I think it's all about kind of saying yes instead of saying no, and not letting fear guide you, but actually just letting that guide you. I think that's incredible. So I want to talk about the Lynn Park Project because I think that's really kind of sacred. I think it's a very sacred thing, going into parks. I saw, I always tell people about this. I don't have any children, but I remember you did a Father's Day photo shoot at Haughville Park. I thought that was just so brilliant. If I had kids, I would have came. So parks are very, very sacred to me. Talk to me about the Lynn Park Project.
So how the Lynn Park Project came about is I lived on Lynn Street for my whole life. So the park was behind my house. So that's where I worked out every day. Every day. That's how I made it. That's how I became who I was in basketball, right? No gym, just the park. So like I said, as you get older, you don't go to the park. I got to travel. I went to college, came back, had to move back home. When I got home, you know, to get on my feet, went back to the park and it was trash.
Yeah.
You know, and so you know how that go about. I was trying to hoop. It was glass all over the court. So I decided one day with my social media platform, let me do a park cleanup. You know, first annual park cleanup, free food, free water, you know, bullshit, whatever goes on. So I did that thing and it wasn't going to work, right? So honestly, God, about 3 people came. I still got pictures on my Facebook. About 3 or 4 people came, helped me clean up. We got the court cleaned up and we got a lot of the glass and stuff up, right? So me being a marketer, I know you got to play with people's mind. Free food for everybody that came out to help me clean up. About 150 people showed up. But what happened was I got lucky enough to feed everybody that came. So I'm thinking that's the end of it. It's about to be the end of the day. You know, I got the DJ spinning. I did it for the adults, right? Honestly, God, I did it for the adults thinking I'm just acting like a lot of people came out because I'm a promoter. I can't look like nobody ain't messing with me. You know what I mean? It worked. A lot of people came. And the kids was like, are we doing it again? You know, the kids are asking me now, like, are we doing what? This was just something for Instagram, you know what I mean?
Right.
Something down in me, like, let's do it again. So I got a team of people. We ended up doing it for we did the same thing, just barbecued. Everybody came, ate lawn chairs, people was drinking and all this nonsense. You know, the average hood park stuff. About the fourth week hit, man, and it was something that hit me. It was like these kids is having the time of their life. Like I seen the parents just, and what just started happening, it just became like, this what needs to happen. So I want to have games over here. The adults go over here because I want the adults to be adults so the kids can be kids. So what I did is I just start creating areas for people to where if you came to the park and your kid didn't want to be around no smoking or drinking, the adults that had to go in this area. You know what I mean? Then we got kickball. And so every week it just formed into something. Now I got vendors out there, just local vendors. Or I might have a local cook, or it just became like its own community event, but I started basing it more around the kids and not the adults. It just transitioned that way. And so that's how now, 4 years later, you get the kickball games is going and people hear about. Or I didn't really want to do dodgeball or baseball or nothing this year because it was too much contact of the hands, but that's how all that formed. It just came from a cleanup that nobody came to free food, to the kids like, oh my God, we haven't played with kids like this in a long time. Because you got to think, me growing, I'm 31 now, that was our freedom going outside. Like, if you had to stay inside, that was the worst time in your life. Now kids now going outside is a punishment. So I didn't realize that what I was doing was something new for another generation. It's old to me, but new to them. So as they was getting excited, I was getting excited, and I couldn't stop. So we went every Sunday to the pandemic hit, basically.
Let's go there. I want to talk about the pandemic. Yeah. The pandemic has been so interesting. It's been a bit I think it's been disruptive for a lot of things, but what I really think it has done is expose a lot of the kind of non-truths about America, having to go to work every day, having to, get up, and it's exposed, not even in America, but of the world, and how we can still function in this space. How has COVID really, as an entrepreneur, as a promoter, as a community, builder, what has COVID revealed to you, and how has it affected you?
For 2 weeks, I quit. Now that I look back, I think it like you said, it separated me from a lot of people that I get compared to, which I try not to compare myself to nobody or never lead those races, but now people get to see who I really am and that I'm not just talking that thing. Because a lot of people didn't know me before I was a promoter because of social media. Social media took me so a lot of people forgot who I really was, genuinely. And I think this time, a lot of people didn't really get to know me, get to see, like, I'm still moving without that. But COVID.
Do you think that you forgot who you really were? Because I think that's something interesting too. Because I think for me, it really made me dig deeper. I'm not trying to have an Oprah moment, but I feel like we're having an Oprah moment. I feel like we all forget,
Because I was trying to keep up too. Like, I thought I was getting older. You know what I mean? I remember when I came in, I was like 23, 24. Now I'm 31. So the music changing. And I was thinking that now these new artists, and I was like, dang, am I falling off? You know what I mean? But like you said, I did have to overthink, but at the same time, when I had to stop, I got to look back. Like, I wasn't doing nothing getting better. Things is getting easier. I get more sleep. I mean, I still got the same routines. I just think I'm knocking it out, but it slowed life down a little bit. And like you said, people thought that you had to just stay in routines and you had to do this every day. And if you didn't, your life wasn't going to be right. And now we can go outside and it's still the same, ain't it? You know what I mean?
We're still here. Yeah. So, which is a very interesting thing. So then you were able to take a step back and maybe see the bigger picture. And then that influenced maybe the way that you moved?
Yeah, especially because even when COVID, I was like, what am I going to do? Like, I do all these outdoor events, everything. Like I said, everything I do is with a lot of people. I'm used to doing big parties. I'm used to doing community events. Everybody's hugging and loving. And now it's like, we can't do none of that. So I remember it was like, March 16th when they announced it. My birthday was March 14th. So we went in. So I was trying to do a party every day. My birthday was actually the 14th, right? That was
you an Aries? Are you? Pisces. You're not a Pisces. You're a late Pisces though. You're a late.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my birthday the 14th. So we got the news. I'm thinking like this ain't really bad because that's when the president still was going back and forth about it's real, it's not. Boom. So I had a party. They said, oh, the club's got to be shut down at 12 o'clock. I'm like, this ain't real, man. It's just they trying to scare tactic. But I wake up Monday morning, everything is shut down.
Yeah.
COVID,
Yeah.
stay in the house. We don't know what's going on. If you got to go to work, don't go to work today. We send the letters out and wear a mask. And I'm like, it's over. I do clubs. Everybody's touching and hugging. Now I can't even do community events because no funds is coming. So, boom. We just fast forward. I had a lot of time to just look in the mirror. Like you said, step back what we talked about. I was putting too much pressure on myself, overthinking things. And then that's when the Easter egg hunt came, or the Easter basket. I got to sit back and get real creative where I thought I didn't have no more. So what people didn't know, that was actually a pumpkin patch that turned into an Easter egg hunt. That's all it was. And I just
That's
promoted
creative.
that. Yeah. That's all I did. You know how pumpkins is all spread out, social distances technically, they all over the place. You just pick out the one look the best. That's what I did. I just decorated each basket. And if you like that one, you just grab it, you keep moving.
Incredible. People who want to be promoters, entrepreneurs in Indianapolis or all over the world, what advice would you give them?
You're not crazy. That's not, because most of our ideas is outrageous. You know what I mean? Like, most promoters are not successful because they always want to do what somebody else is doing because it's working. That's their idea. Do what you like. You know what I mean? Like, don't do what Jay-Z did because Jay-Z did it. If you want to do what Jay-Z did, master it. You ain't gonna do it like Jay-Z. You know what I mean? Do it the way you was put out here. That's what I mean. Like, don't let nobody tell you crazy because somebody might not like your idea. You know what I mean? But
it's not for them to like. It's actually not for them to like. It's for you to like.
It's for you to like. That's what I mean. Don't let nobody tell you crazy. So that's what I tell all of them. Most promoters is at the top. Look at stylists, anybody. Everybody be like, man, they crazy or they weird. Look how they dress. But look how far they became, and you still stuck talking about what they doing.
Yeah. So how much work does it take?
No days off. Especially if you want to be an entrepreneur, because it never stops. You know what I mean? Opportunity could just come in the middle of the day. Only thing I would tell them is just learn how to manage your time. It has to be a cutoff. That's just what I'm learning at the age of 31. If I knew that at 23, it would have made me way more important. I was opening my arms up to everybody. Not saying I would not be arrogant or nothing, but sometimes you got to have a cutoff. You know what I mean? People take you more serious. Like, you just can't always be open. And that's coming from somebody that's did it. You know what I mean? Like, I was always open. If you look on my website now, 24 hours. Instead, I might take the call or email some days, but most time I know when to cut off. You know what I mean?
I'm with you. I'm actually usually not available for a lot of things.
Yeah.
And that's really, really a great concept. Be open, but also just be your time is as valuable as anyone else's time.
Make it worth it if you're answering that email or something. It's gotta
make it worth it if you're answering. Yes, sir. I agree. What are some things that you'd like to see change about Indianapolis? Your boots on the ground. I've got my boots in the digital world. What are some things that you would just like to see change about our city? I just had Dr. Woody Myers, he's running for governor, on the show, and I adore him.
What's the question based to? Is it based to
what do you mean?
Is it based to political? Is it based to the youth?
No, it's actually based on anything.
What do you want to hear? What you want to hear, though? What would you ask me? What I want to be changed or see different? It's got to be specific, because it's a couple of different things. That's why I asked. I can answer it a lot of different ways.
What would you like to see change in terms of the way that we interact as Black people in a community in Indianapolis? Was that specific enough for you?
Real simple. Learn how to congratulate Black people. And if I was a complainer, I did it one day drunk, and I deleted everything, and I realized that's the problem. And I think a lot of Black people don't think they can be successful because they don't get support from their peers. So it was just a time where I'd be like, how does 1,000 people come to one of my events? And I got 2 likes or something, on the social media. So that's a big part of our life right now. Social media can make or break you in a lot of our world. So if any of my peers or Black people around this age group are listening, like, try to support others, like, comment. Like, as much as we say social media ain't real, that affects a lot of our business in today's world, especially the way we communicate now. Look at this, it's through social media. You know, that's how we connected. So that's a big way that others can support each other. And I would love to, because like if you go to, sorry to ramble on it, but it's a program that I think they're trying to bring to Indy from Ohio. And it's just, if you go to Ohio, you could just tell the vibes that the Black people support each other more. There's a lot of Black restaurants. There's like sushi bars downtown. Like, I've even tried to invest in a bar. It was called like 36 a couple years ago. I'm thinking I'm this Black guy downtown. Not only myself, but it was a couple other people before and after me thinking like, we're finally downtown. Y'all gonna support me, right? They wouldn't come to my place downtown, but when I go and just, I mean, they wouldn't, when I was Black, they wouldn't come to my place downtown. But for now, when I got tiki bottles, it cracks. You know what I mean? That's the latest party that I've ever thrown. Well, I ain't gonna say ever, but in this time right now. But between then, I had a couple of businesses of my own where I was paying rent, and I would say I was the owner. Well, I'd be like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can go down there. I run the same operation with these white people, and it grows. Not knocking it, like that's how we are moving. But I would like moving forward to support the other them Black businesses. And that's, if you notice that the clubs I operated with through the pandemic and the little small bars that was open, I only promoted the Black businesses. You know, I try not to make that a big thing because I feel like it shouldn't have to be a big thing. But if you know they're struggling and we can get a few extra people there, why wouldn't you help?
You know, I went to school. I went to Howard. I went to school for theater, acting, you know. And that's a whole thing within itself. But I can recall several times where I've gone on auditions, friends, you know, people who are not my friends, people who are classmates, people who are, you know, all these different things. You go into an audition and you want it. You really, really want it. And then you don't get it. Somebody you know gets it. And then you have this like epiphany. What is for them is for them. And what is for you is for you. And there's more than enough for all of us to eat quite well in this world. So you have to congratulate if you want anything to come your way. It's the most gratitude is the attitude. It's the attitude.
I mean, ain't no other way around it. It's a proven fact. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes bitter people make it, but how far do they make it before they hit the hole in the wall? You know what I mean?
So what are you, now I'm going to ask another question and I'll get really specific.
Let's go.
What do you want the next phase of Ted Hardy to be?
I mean, I'm transitioning to being a dad now, so.
I saw that. Congratulations.
Twins. So just being able to balance being that, you know, I'm going to be a great dad, right? But balancing it out to the rest of the world, which I know is possible, but I'm just excited to see how I'm going to do that. You know, everybody asks me, like, am I nervous? I did too much to be nervous about having my own kids. You know what I mean? I'm more just ready for them to get here so I can see how the next step is going to be. Like, I don't know. I just know that if I stop now, it's a waste of time on the No Days Off movement, the Ted Hardy collection. You know, I can't just go get a job and settle. And that's not me. I wouldn't be happy that way. I know I would. So just when they get here to seeing what I do and how I start putting things in motion and just, you know, how that works out. Because I see myself always been in the entertainment field because I got a gift of just bringing people together. I've never talked to a microphone. Like, I might put my name on the flyer, but you never heard me talk. You know what I mean? Like, nobody.
Yeah, and I'm so thankful to have you here.
Yeah, so it's just dope just seeing what that's gonna be. I don't know. I mean, I'm just excited to see at this point.
So then I don't want to reveal too much because I'm not sure, but let's get this Made in Indy exclusive. Do we know the gender of the twins?
Girls, identical.
Oh, that's so great.
Yes, identical. Let me see how good my iPad camera is. I got an A and B picture from today. She 19 weeks.
That is incredible. Congratulations to your wife. So great.
So that's A. I don't know if it's hard to see on there or not. And then I'm gonna show you B. So they're the same size, so that's a good thing. A and B. So yeah,
so you know that
earlier.
I'm one of those really, really weird people because I always want to know this as well. Do you have a name for the twins? I'm always so like, did you pick out a name? Do you know a name? Do you have a favorite name?
Yeah, we got names. We got names. I'm gonna let her put it out first, though.
Okay. Are they like
cute
matching names, or are they like different names?
They're dope. Like,
okay,
it's gonna make me start an Instagram for it. I don't want to. You know, people be like hiding their kids, and man, listen, man, I'm gonna be taking pictures every day. It's gonna be videos and recaps of them just turning over in bed. So they got a name to it. When I let her pick everything. So when she told me, at first I was thinking like people ain't gonna know, but I'm like, it's real catchy, and they both it's the same name but different. So
I think that's so incredible. To have a baby is great, and then to have a double blessing is even more incredible. I'm so happy for you. Talk to me a little bit about before I let you go. Because I'm a busy man.
Hey, no rush, no rush.
What has the year 2020 revealed to you? If anything else, it's been a crazy year. So many things have happened. Every time you look up, someone, has transitioned into the next life, or someone is doing something different, or something crazy in the news. If this year has taught you anything, what has it revealed to you?
First, stick to your roots. It was like, the first phase was just get back to how you hear, what your peoples, your grandparents catch up on. Everybody want to catch up on history and stuff, but it's a perfect time to catch up on your history. That's what I said. A lot of people got a problem with trying to live other people's life. You got to figure out what's your, and I got to do that. My grandmother passed away. It wasn't through COVID, just, she passed away during the COVID times. But I got to catch up on a lot of time, even just being around them, because we didn't have much to do. So talk to them on the phone or pop up on the porch. And I just got to hear a lot of things on just how they grounded for us to have what we have. Because my grandparents laid a big foundation in that Haughville community for me just to do what I do, And, I would just, that's just what I got out of this. A lot of people need to just touch bases on their own history. And, that was the biggest thing. That's what got me back motivated to go push. Because I knew this was me. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. That's what 2020 was. Like, I don't know, this year it's just every time I hear 2020, my head just get to rambling because so much happened in this 1 year. I feel like it's been like 10. Like,
you said something about Easter, and I'm like, when was Easter? 2 years ago?
That's why I went all the way back. Even I'm thinking about we didn't really get touch bases on how the Father's Day thing came about.
Yeah, and I thought so much so incredible.
Like so long ago. It just felt like so long ago, but it was just yesterday that we had Father's Day. Can I let you know about that one too?
Go ahead, because my birthday is in June. I'm a Gemini, and I love my birthday, and then Father's Day comes right after. So please talk to me about the Father's Day event in Haughville Park.
Happy belated. But speaking of that, that's how it came about. I really don't get to take pictures with my dad. He hates taking pictures, or I don't know if he hate them, but we just never really got to take pictures. He got a lot of pictures. We just don't got a lot of pictures together. His birthday came up. We still didn't get a picture on his birthday, so I'm like, I got to make sure these kids can remember their fathers, because a lot of us coming up in that neighborhood don't get to, fathers die early and they don't have no remembrance of their father. Or they scramble for pictures through other people to get, I started thinking about all that. And I was like, why don't I just start something where people have memories? Because we don't know who's going to die through COVID. Or
That's deep. That's actually deep.
Like all this stuff is happening. I'm like, I have to do something. We ain't doing nothing else. Let me create a memory. I don't know if people want to come out here. If you don't want to come, don't come. But let me give y'all something to have. This might be the last time we was outside. So that was a tough time when we was taking those pictures, because we didn't know it was getting hot outside, but we still had to wear a mask. The city was getting shut down more and more and more. So it was getting sad, but at the same time, I was like, how can I bring some joy? And everybody got it, like an 8x10, not a small little club picture. It was the big boys. So let us give y'all something to sit on the table and look at during these times. And that's how that really came about. Like, the dads didn't give no love. Father's Day was coming up, and it was just tough. And I'm, seeing the dad smile. I was surprised to hear the news come. I'm like, hey, y'all gonna see all these people taking. But, they was like surprised, like, oh my God, thank you. People were actually smiling again. And, you got all these dads with their kids, and, we got frowns for 6 months straight to be able to smile and enjoy some time at the park.
Mm.
So that was good.
I think that's, yeah, you gotta, I think giving people a memory, I think that's a key. I want to know what you would like to see. This is my second, what would you like to see? It's almost like, what would Jesus do? What would you like to see the city do, for the city and the state, actually, let's go bigger, the state, do for its community of Black people? Because one of my biggest, I had Lilia Bundles, the great great granddaughter of Madam C.J. Walker, on the podcast, and we really went into detail about the dismantling of Indiana Avenue when it was all Black businesses, you know. And I think that's a history of the state that people like to forget, and they like to forget how that street was dismantled, where those Black businesses went, where the redlining went. I think not only in the country, but in the state, there has to be a concentrated effort to rebuild the things that were concentratedly dismantled. What would you like to see, as someone who's a lifelong Hoosier, who's went out into the world, came back, and created a platform, many platforms? What would you like to see?
Well, I don't know how much I can speak on it or not.
I need
but you know, I'm an ambassador for CICF, and I became an ambassador with CICF like December maybe. So it was fresh. I didn't really get to fit in well with no people. I didn't get to jail with nobody. So we really kind of got to go in motion. Right, like we was about to start working and touching the communities right when COVID hit, right? So we kind of got set back, but it has sped up. And what it has showed me, well, being an ambassador for my community, is, and whoever came up with the idea, well, shout out to Pam Ross, that's our boss, you know what I mean? But the idea was just take people that's actually from the community, not invested in the community, not got to say so, not wrote a book about it, not open some land or cousin, auntie. Actually take somebody that's in that situation and doing something and put them at the board with other people that's actually, not everything can run like this, but you need a small board, a big board, a medium, you know, and you got to get your grassroots. So basically, I think any state or city around here should do that. Take a couple grassroots organizations, you know, and put them together and work from the outside in again, instead of just doing what the rich guy thinks and let's just build this building and they can keep up. Like, you got to almost bring the grassroots to that person too. So it's got to be a median. Like, we know we want to update the area, but my grandma been here for 92 years, bro. Like, it's going to be a problem. And what's happening is we started to leverage the problem between communities and white people by having us as I wouldn't just say white people, rich people, or people that want to see the area improve faster than
it feels like we're not gauging gentrification. Gentrification is at the forefront, and but what made the neighborhood, you know, the neighborhood, we're losing. And so it's just becoming like another Carmel or another Zionsville, and those places are great within themselves, but that's not what these places are. I get you.
If you educate the people that's in them, then it makes it a lot better. And that's just what I see. Just any of these bigger companies or bigger organizations that fair fund or have funds to make things happen, start with the grassroots first. And I mean, keep your smart people at the top of whatever you do, but you got to get some people that's really going through some things, because if not, it's going to always be, it's never going to be a median. I can't say it's always going to be. It's never going to be one of, you can't have two people saying somewhat eye to eye. It's never going to be, everybody can't be happy, but if there's some type of median, then things can go way smoother. And that's what we started to figure out in the Haughville area too, especially with me being more hands-on with the organizations, because I can put info out, like houses going up, or do you need rent paid? You know, that wasn't happening before, or most people didn't feel confident to be like, hey, I know somebody that can pay your rent. Now having the resources, me coming from the neighborhood, not knowing how to ever be able to get somebody rent paid, to being able to send an email here and there to help a family out, you know, that goes a long way. That, you know, and it's just those little small things of just helping the small people first, and then go up to the top. You know what I mean? Instead of going from the top to the bottom. Same way I did when I started Lynn Park Project. Like I said, I took a couple stings and bums, uplifted them, and everybody seen them moving. So and took them up. You know, you got to start at the bottom first, right? That's what
You have
they
to
always
start at
tell
the
us.
first. Yeah.
And most
Yeah.
people come from the top down, and it's like, dang, that's too heavy. I can't lift that. You put it
Yeah.
all on me. Like, and now they
Yeah.
say these people crazy, and they're not crazy. You just putting too much on them at once. So
Yeah.
it's all
I
the way
love that.
around.
If there's anything Made in Indy could ever do, I'm a huge fan. I've been kind of staying away from some of the events, but I'm gonna show up with my face mask, do my social distancing, and I'll be there. Before I let you go, but if there's anything we ever can do to assist or collaborate, I'm actually, this is a little bit of a secret, and I'm probably gonna cut this out, but I'm actually working on a toy drive coming up here in December, and I did some things with the MLK Center and the another center that I really, really love. So I'm going to be doing a toy drive with the Hatch. It's a co-working space and all this different stuff. So I'll keep you posted. But I'm going to cut that part out. But if there's something that on a serious note, if there's anything that I can ever do to assist to get the word out, again, because my network is really based in Washington, D.C. and Los Angeles. But as I continue to grow, Indianapolis is not that big. And especially the Black people who are doing interesting things, it's not that big. So if there's anything I can ever do, please keep me in your peripheral. But one thing I really, really want to know before I let you go and, you know, conquer the day, where do you eat in Indianapolis? Where are some restaurants that you just love to patron in our great city?
So this is all y'all need to do. Don't eat no food all week. Just wait till Sunday and go to Circle City Soul Food. Just look them up. They're Circle City Soul Food each and every Sunday.
I follow them on Instagram, and I love. I've never made it there, but it looks incredible.
So that's my family-owned restaurant. My granddaddy bought the land for us to just keep growing as a family. All my aunties and uncles working in there. One day you might go in there and see me cleaning the floor, the table. So it's all family-owned. It's definitely a lot of places around here to eat. Huge Impact is great. R&R Wing. Man, it's a lot of these guys. I'll probably make a post and tag you in it now to know so you can share.
Yeah, definitely. I love R&R Wings as well. They're great.
Fire. Circle City Soul Food, though, that's family owned. Go in there, tell them I sent you, man. Make a review if y'all watching this. Circle City Soul Food, Instagram, Facebook, Google, website, circlecitysoulfood.com. But it's for now, there's only, like I said, it's family owned. So now that the restaurant is starting to, you know, get a name out there and grow, we want to figure out how to get other days open, and that should be coming soon.
What events do you have going on for the rest of the year that we can look forward to?
Oh, I started a comedy night, Funny Mondays. I know no matter what, because I'm gonna keep that one going. That's something for the city. I think I'm gonna be the Russell Simmons of Indianapolis, the rate this is going. No, but what I've been doing on there is we need joy. We need joy in our life right now with everything that's going on in the pandemic. So why not better to start a night about comedy? You know what I mean? Let a lot of people come out, get it off their chest. And I do open mic too, so we have three like technically headliners. But before that, if you just want to walk in and have an open mic and crack a couple of jokes or say some poetry and get off your chest, that's the perfect time. You know what I mean? You got people there, a lot of tables, so plenty of social distancing. We got a lot of servers, so you can keep your drinks and food flowing.
And that's Mondays, and where is that at?
Mondays at Joker's, starting at 7 p.m. at Joker's Comedy Club downtown Indy on South Meridian.
Perfect.
So
I
if
love
you need
that.
a good laugh every Monday after work.
That's great. Well, we'll definitely be pushing it on our platform. And I'm just so thankful that we have people in our communities that really can see the bigger picture. And I'm so proud of the work that you're doing. And I think you are only at the beginning of where you're headed on your path in this life.
Appreciate it.
Congratulations on the twins.
For sure.
I can't wait for that name reveal.
All right, that's coming soon.